Hello lovely viewers, you are most welcome to our channel Poetry Online. In this video, we shall be reading The Sound of Umbele by Bill Marshall. Kindly subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to get updates on all our new videos. Once again, let us assure you of a very interesting discussion. Get ready for this lesson. Characters: Sumako, an old man. Dweller, a young woman, his daughter. Benko, Ziki, Atu, his sons. Joshua, a young man. Peasant woman. Action of the play takes place in an African fishing village, any fishing village. Act 1. The scene is the backyard of a house by the seaside. The rear side of the house is on stage right. The far corner, protruding into the stage, it is painted white with two windows, both visible to audience, painted black. We see one or two stools about. Midway stage left is a large petrol drum, used for storing water. The lead to this is a heavy wooden slab. Upstage are 4 or 5 railings on which fishing nets are spread to dry. Beyond this are a few coconut tree silhouettes against the setting sun. The time is late afternoon. When the curtain goes up, we see Sumako standing upstage, back to audience, intently gazing into the distance. When he turns around, we see a disturbed old man, graying on the temples. He is a bit starchy in his movement and looks rather too strong for his age. He walks downright, plants himself on a stool, and starts mending a fishing net. He quickly absorbs himself in his occupation, with an occasional pause to remove the pipe from his mouth. A moment later, Dweller enters down left. She has a mature body, which she carries with unaffected grace and defiance. She's about 20. She's carrying a pail of water on her head. She goes to the drum and turns an inquiring eye to her father, but the old man is so preoccupied that he does not notice this. Father, as if roused from some meditation. What? Impatiently. The lid. Of course. He goes to remove the lid and helps Dweller to empty water into the drum. Dweller, your brothers, they haven't returned from sea. They have all the time in the world. And what does that mean? They can stay there as long as they wish to. There was a strong girl this afternoon. So, they are my children. What about me, father? What about me? She picks up the pail and storms out left. To himself, rather rudely, I didn't mean to imply anything. He shrugs his shoulder and turns to his occupation. A moment later, we hear sharp knocking upright and a male voice calling, Ago, Ago, anybody home? Ago, anybody home? Come round the backyard, whoever you are. Joshua appears right. He is a young man, tall, lanky, walks and speaks with stubborn confidence. He is carrying a traveling sack, which he dumps on the ground with a sigh of relief. There's no fish. My boys haven't returned. What is the matter with you people? I've not come to buy fish. Studying Joshua and noticing the sack for the first time. You've come a long way, as you can see, yes. Oh, then maybe you can quit your impudence and tell me what you want. Is your name Sumako? Yes. The fisherman? Now listen, lad. I have no time for idle talk. Can't you see I'm busy? Then on second thought, you haven't brought me bad news about them, have you? Tell me quick. I don't know what you're talking about. My sons, what happened to them? I'm a stranger in this part. I know nothing about your sons. I was told you could help me. That's why I came. Oh, I see. So there's nothing. No news. What's all this about your sons anyway? Forget it. There's nothing. Now, what do you want? Are you Sumako the fisherman? I said that before, didn't I? You were going on about your boys. I didn't hear it. I am Sumako. Everybody knows that. But I don't go to sea anymore. Too old. Understand? My sons do. They are at the sea this very moment. I expect them any minute from now. Oh, good. What's that? Do you know them? No, but I guess they could do with some help. Are you a fisherman then? No. No? That's why I'm here. I want to become one. A good one. I don't mind serving an apprenticeship with your boys. A rather peculiar way of asking for a job. Wouldn't you say? I imagine from your crude behavior that you don't have a better approach. I'm not used to begging, so make up your mind. Pity. Whoever brought you up must be ashamed of himself. My mother did. Well, go back to her and ask her to start all over again. Understand? Go back to your mother. She's dead. Oh, I see. Don't you feel sorry for me because I'm glad she's off my back. I don't indulge in sentimentality. It's a luxury I can't afford. Oh, good. Then I'm sure we shall get on fine. Say you got some water to drink. And that thing over there, help yourself. Joshua helps himself. What about your father? Don't know. What? Never saw him. I don't mind telling you that I was born a bastard. But mind you, I didn't grow up in poverty. On the contrary, my cradle was lined with silk and velvet. My mother provided for me. I had everything I wanted, even my own special world with everything except a father. I was to believe my father was some kind of a hero who died fighting for some good cause. What cause? No cause, because there wasn't one. I was only to believe that. It worked for some time, till I began to ask myself the same question. What cause? There was no answer because there was no man. My mother didn't even know who the man was. How could she? There were many. She was a commodity on the market. She got paid, of course. She had to leave. She was probably forced into it. The life you people live in the cities. Your mother must have been a sad woman. A very strong woman. Strong and revengeful. She made all men pay for the insult. There was only one woman who once did that. She raised an empire from little rooms and made men slave for her. Glad she is no more. Did they call her Madame Umbele? That's right, Madame Umbele. She's dead now. She had a son. Did you know that? So I hear. The little bastard. If I see him, I'll put a rope around his neck and hang him in my backyard. Why don't you do so now? I'm her son. With a start, Joshua? Yes, the son of a famous mother. Do you want to see my mother's mask? I carry it with me everywhere I go. He brings out a huge mask from his bag. See that? The old man is badly upset. See, it makes you shiver, makes your blood run cold. It makes you nervous, makes your feet wobble, doesn't it? Huh? Go away. Don't come among us. Don't come near us. We are only peasants. We don't want to have anything to do with you. But I'm perfectly harmless, Sumako. You wanted to hang me a minute ago. Now you are scared. But don't be afraid, Sumako. I'm not even armed. You have your mother's empire. You have your mother's power. I tell you, there's nothing left. I couldn't manage the estate. I sold a whole lot at cutthroat prices and spent the money with my friends. Your mother kept little rooms. What happened to the girls? I let them go, with handsome bonuses of course, to find better jobs in the mines. So you see, there's nothing left. Now, I've come to amend to all the peasants here. They suffered the brunt of my mother's wrath most. She made my wife work for her once. I shall never forget that. We were poor at that time. Well, we still are. Don't you worry. I'll make it up to you. How are you going to do that? I wonder. Simple. By living amongst you and giving you inspiration. That's a bluff, if ever I saw one. You've come running to this place because your mother's empire crumbled to the ground. Folks in the city make life too hot for you. You've come running to us peasants. And what do you hope to find? Peace, refuge, or another empire? Something more worthy than all three. The third end of a rope. Do you know what that is? I shall find out. You're looking for the impossible. Even your famous mother wouldn't dare dream of it. Of course, you're only bluffing. A wild, painful shriek as head off right. What was that? Oh, it's only my wife. She's always screaming like that. Take no notice. What's wrong with her? Oh, she's a sick woman. She howls like an animal whenever she's in pain or something. Mind you, she's a good woman. Understand? She brought forth all my children, 3 strong boys and a daughter. Didn't you meet her on the way? No. Of course not. She went that way. She's just like her mother. Pretty, large bosom. Ha! But now, she's withered out like smoked salmon. Now, she belongs to the past. Something you folks in the city would like to put in a museum. She belongs to days gone by. And you? Where do you belong? The sea. The big ocean. We've always belonged to it. My ancestors came from the sea. That cannot be true, and you know it. Of course, it's only anecdotal. There's no truth in that. But the people on the mountains at the time knew no better. They thought my ancestors simply emerged from the sea. Ha! At first, they were treated like gods, till eventually they found out that my ancestors weren't gods after all. They possibly couldn't have emerged from the sea. That was when they started fighting for existence. They still do. We hear a wild shriek again off right. She's screaming again. Take no notice. She always does that. You would think she was an animal. Had you better not find out what she wants? I can't stand cries of human agony. But my dear boy, hers is only a mental agony. She doesn't mind. So why should that bother you? You don't even see her. I don't have to see her. I can hear her cries for help, and that is enough. They wouldn't amuse my mother, but not me. Thoughtfully. So at long last, humanity has reached the metropolis. Ha! I cannot believe it. I shall not believe it. We hear a woman's voice. Sumako! Sumako! Off right. Did you hear that? A voice from the past. Now she's calling my name. Oh dear. He throws the net at Joshua. Here, see if you can find any more holes that needs mending. But the entire net is made of holes. Come, come lad, everybody knows that. Now get on with it and start learning. Oh, by the way, don't tell my children your mother is Umbele. Understand? They easily get upset and irritable. They can be nasty sometimes. Sumako! Sumako! Off stage. Oh, damn this woman. He trots off into the house. Joshua is left standing on the stage, awkwardly holding the net, not knowing exactly where to look for the hole. Gradually, slowly, he raises the net to a height and holding it with both hands above his head so that the audience see his entire body through the net. This should present a sad, perplexed comic picture. He holds this posture till Dweller enters as before, carrying a pot of water. As if caught with his pants down, Joshua let the net drop to his feet and stares blankly at her. Where is he? Who? Sumako, my father. Oh, just gone into the house. Mother has been screaming again, I suppose. You can take off the lid for me then. Joshua obeys like a child. She empties the water into drum. Who are you? I saw you coming down the hill. Pity I didn't see you. My name is Joshua. Joshua? That's a foreign name. It's English. It is a Christian name from the Bible. It is still foreign. My name is Dweller. It is a peasant's name. A peasant's name and a peasant's woman. I like both. Now, don't you come here saying things like that to me. I carry something you must avoid. I've got a demon. Didn't Smako tell you about me? He only said he has a daughter with a large bosom, well, who looks like her mother. But he didn't say she was so pretty. I warn you. I am warning you. Did you bring that? Meaning the huge mask. Yes, it's my only identity. Smako doesn't like it, so I'll put it away. He puts it in his bag. Are you some kind of a clown from the circus? I am the Roman prince of a fallen empire. You look like a tramp to me. I perfectly agree with you there. I'm a self-made tramp. I miss the train. I miss the privilege of childhood delinquency. So when I grew up, I decided to put that right. That's why I travel like a tramp. In the city where I came from, there are no rooms for people like me. The government does not tolerate vagabonds. They pass laws and stick bills on the walls. The air is thick with a smell of gum acacia. Aha! So you run away from it. Well, here, we are just peasants. We have no laws and we stick no bills on the wall. We look up to the sea for inspiration and life. My brothers go to the sea every day and catch little fish. It might not suit you here. We might even suspect you of something intrigue and drown you in the ocean over there. I wouldn't mind that, but folks living your kind of existence value the human soul so much that they wouldn't shove a man into the sea like some sewage. You do give everybody a chance. You know what is hope and disappointment. When you are in pain, you scream for help. But where I come from, things are different. People grow smaller and smaller into the migrants as the buildings soar up high into the sky and tower over them. You get choked up. You don't laugh anymore for fear your bad tooth might show. You keep your lip tight and let your mouth stink. You build a great wall around you, and when that is finished, you ask yourself, why can't I get out? I want to get out. I want to get out. I want some fresh air. I want to breathe. But then it's too late. You are choked up. You can't get out. You are a long time dead. Is that why you are here? For a breath of fresh air? I'm only a traveler with a huge mask. I'm also a tramp. You could have fooled me. You don't sound like one. You have too much guts, and my brothers resent the likes of you. They hate beggars. Smako enters and overhears the last sentence. Who is a beggar? Pointing at Joshua. He is. He calls himself a vagabond and God knows what. Returning to his stool. What? You feel sorry for yourself already? No, my ego wouldn't let me. I like to talk about myself because I am the living museum. I've broken all the rules and ethics of life and survived the odds. I was born a bastard, nursed in luxury, and drank milk from the breast of a cougar. A great woman held me in her arms and called me Joshua. I read the Bible in my nursery, but when I grew up, I blew up a church. I set the pace and let posterity follow me. Now tell me, doesn't that make me a living museum? It makes you a disillusioned and impertinent little braggart. Do all the young men in the city talk like this? I'm just one of them, an individual, a special individual. What are you searching for? A lot of things. My goal is the third end. You will never find it, Joshua. Give it up. My ego wouldn't let me. Father, what's the third end? Oh, it's the third end of a rope. A story of an old legend. There was this hunter who... You've got the characters mixed up. A prince. He was a legitimate prince, not a hunter. Now go on. Alright, so he was a prince. Well, this prince fellow thought he had conquered all and sundry, till one day his mistress asked him to find the third end of a rope. It was a romantic joke, but then this hunter, this prince fellow, took it seriously. Did he find it? No. He set out with his army one morning in search of it, and that was the last anyone saw of him or his army. And that's where I come. I will take up where he left off, so that one day, when the story is told, it will be complete. Why don't you go back to where you belong? Go back to the hills. Go back to the city. We peasants here are simple-minded. We don't go about looking for the impossible. We don't let our imagination run away with us. We are not learned. We don't kill dragons. Our faith is simple and naive. We worship the sea and do its bidding. You probably despise me for saying that. As a matter of fact, I do. You're just a contemptuous upstart. You. Oh, Father, isn't that a horrid thing to say to a stranger? So he has set your mind against me already. Ha! You don't even know who he is. Heaven help us if he stays amongst us. Oh, he wants to live with us. He wants to become a fisherman, he says. He must not. He knows too much. Why? He wouldn't hurt a fly. Let him stay if he wants to. Sumako pretends to consider this for a moment. Well, if you say so. A wild scream off stage. Oh, mother! She runs into the house. You surprise me, Sumako. Confidentially, I had to make sure she doesn't object to your staying. She runs the house and looks after everything. She's a good girl. For all I know, she likes you. I wouldn't mind that. In fact, I'll be flattered. You won't if I told you something. I can guess. You gave her away. You betrothed her to some wealthy farmer and collected a fat cow or something. They stopped that in the city long time ago. Fathers don't exchange their daughters for cows anymore, not even when they have large bosoms. I did not say I've taken any cows. I wish I could, but no one will marry her. No one wants her. At her age, she's still untouched. Understand? A flower bud. And you know why? Because the young men want to keep their necks. Understand? They want to stay alive. Dwyer doesn't look wild to me. I don't mean that. You see, she got a curse on her head. Something like jeans. Something like a demon. Anything she touches turns into clay. Don't take me literally, understand? The first man who makes a woman of her will find destruction. Everybody knows that. So you see why she remains a flower bud and looks after the family. With her mother a sick woman, we need her in the house to look after things. Very cunning, Sumako. You spread the story of whatever you call it around the village and let ignorance work its way so that Dwelle remains unmarried to slave for the family. Oh, I like that. It's your own death if you choose to be stubborn. But I'm warning you, she's not to be touched. She's got the demon, what we call Sinsumboni. She's to be avoided. I warn you. We hear voices of women talking and laughing off stage right. I can see some peasant women coming down the hill. I know. I heard them. Who are they? They are peasant women, as you said. I didn't mean to be offensive to Mako. He studies Joshua for a second. They are fishmongers. They'll be here in a minute. Notice their behavior towards me. They will fuss about me, pour oil into my ears, and call me nice names. And do you know why? They want to pay less money for the fish they buy. That's how fake they can be. They are all counterfeit. They don't even stop to think. I can see through it all. They underestimate my intelligence. When hair is full of grey like mine, They think you have no brains left in your skull. To them, I'm just a silly old fool. And that's what they learn from people like you. And as far as I'm concerned, they stink like the fish they handle. 4 or 5 peasant women enter, all holding baskets. As soon as they see Sumako, they throw their basket down and run to him, fighting against the onslaught. Listen now, you pigs. Listen, my sons haven't returned from sea. There's no fish. Chanting in unison. The good man Sumako, his boys know no harm, has always been that way, to this very day. There was a girl this afternoon. The good man Sumako, the ocean does his will, has always been that way, to this very day. I'm making no promises. The good man Sumako, how very modest, how very honest, has always been that way, to this very day. Sometimes you girls bore me. The good man Sumako, he has a heart, he never hurts, has always been that way, to this very day. Ha! As if you ever gave me a thought. The good man Sumako, of whom we dream each night, has always been that way, to this very day. Me? In your dreams? Look at my grey hair. The good man Sumako, he looks so young, he stays so long, has always been that way, to this very day. To Joshua, you see what I mean? They don't respect my intelligence. Joshua nods. The women seem to notice him for the first time. Who is he? Name of Joshua, from the city. They all stare at Joshua with admiration. Then by turns, they whisper something into Sumako's ear to each other, of which he says, I will, oh I know, or that's a promise. Suddenly, here they come, I saw them first. Not so fast, not so fast. Remember not to harass them. Remember they are tired. Remember they are my children. And Joshua, remember not one word. Benko, the elder son, appears upstage left. He is carrying a bundle of ropes, which he dumps on the stage, and turns to the next. Ziki, he is carrying the net, heavy and wet. Benko helps him, and the two boys begin to spread the net on the railing. They do this without a word to anyone. You boys had better rinse the net before drying. There is fresh water in the drum. The boys pay no attention and continue in silence. Of course, it doesn't matter very much. That can be done later. After all, you must be very tired. To Joshua, you see, they're tired. Where's the fish? Not so fast, not so fast. To the boys, where's the basket? He gets no reply. Of course, the fool will bring it. To Joshua, Atu carries the basket. He's the youngest. Atu appears carrying the basket on his head. He looks very much of a dolt. He does not set the basket down, but stands there looking from face to face. I am buying half of the whole catch. I'm paying with clean money. And what do you think we are paying with? Peanuts or money from little rooms? You can fight if you like. I've been made a promise. And so have I. Let's ask Sumako if you like. Stop it, pigs. There's no fish. Go away. To Atu. Are you going to carry that blasted basket all day? Atu sets the basket down. The woman rushes to it, rips off the tarpaulin cover, and stands, staring at one another, then at Benko. I told you, didn't I? The sea is gone dry. Do you hear me? The sea is done gone dry. Now start moving. The women retrieve their baskets and makes towards the house. Not through the house. Pigs. What's wrong with a public alleyway? Women turn and file off downright. Pigs, come walking through your house like it's a marketplace. Why don't you cool off, Benko? What's eating you? Pigs. He storms off into the house. To Joshua, he's always like that. very irritable. Atu, what happened? Like Big Brother Benko said, the sea is gone dry, no fish. Now, don't you give me that, fool. Ziki, you tell me. Oh, it's just one of those bad days. Rough sea, rough tempers, no catch. And this is supposed to be the best year. Remember this time last year, father? Gee, the whole village was bursting with stinking fish. But now, not one little fish. When the day isn't right, all the fishes take their flight. To Joshua, have you heard that song before? No, I don't suppose you would. He walks into the house humming a tune. Take no notice, he's always like that, making a tune of everything. They always bring home a good catch. I don't know what happened today. Like Big Brother Benko said, if only Dweller doesn't go sneezing on the boat, bringing bad luck to us. What's he talking about? I told you, everything that girl touches turns into clay. She goes near the boat, and the sea turns dry. Ziki reappears, rather in a hurry. Atu, Atu, have you seen my comb? No, and I swear to that. Oh damn. He turns to go. Ziki, come and meet Joshua. He has come from the city to join you boys. This is Ziki, and that is Atu. Big Brother Benko is in the house. Hello to you, but I can't wait. I must rush. He hurries off into the house. Are you staying here with us? Joshua nods. It's alright with me, but Brother Benko is not going to like it. Who asks for your opinion? And who gives orders here? You boys are going to do as I tell you. Understand? I'm not complaining. You try and knock some sense into Benko. What he did today, as if he owns the boat. You try talking some sense into that head of his. Benko appears and hears the above. You talk like that behind my back again, and I'll give you something you won't like. I said nothing, Brother Benko. I swear to that. To Sumako, Dweller tells me you've got somebody to help us. That's right. Name of Benko comes from the city. I'm not asking you. Joshua is going to join you boys on the sea for fishing. And who says we want help? That is for me to decide. Rather calmly. Brother Benko, it almost breaks my heart to hear you speak like that in my presence. You don't even know who I am. But I'll forgive you. Sumako says you are easily upset. But now, I know you even rage and burn like a volcano. However, I'm sure we can come to some agreement. What did you say? Big Brother Fury. You start calling me names and I'll break your neck and feed your hide to the dogs. Such absolute profanity. This is worse than I imagined. Someone told me that you folks perch on eloquence, but he never mentioned anything about peasant vulgarity. Sumako, do you know that he came all the way here, this friend of mine, for a holiday? He said he came to look at the sea for inspiration. But don't you believe it? He was a liar. They all tell lies. Actually, he had a consumption, and the doctor said he ought to go to the seaside for some fresh air. He's dead now. The doctor couldn't save him. He's mad. Listen to him. You hear how he talks. He's demented. How can we be in the same boat with a person like that? How can he live with us? He is dangerous. I tell you, he's a madman. That's true. Shut up, you fool. He stays here because I say so. I'm not going to make a sermon, but you boys are something, and you better listen well. He looks about. Where's Ziki? In the house. He calls, Ziki! Leave him alone. To Benko. It's you I want to talk to. You've been causing all the trouble. From now on, I give all the orders in this place, and whoever doesn't like it can pack up his things and go into the world. The world is still big as it is. I think I'll rather move on, Smako. I would like calm and harmony to reign in your family. There has never been any such thing in this family, but I'm beginning to see it with your presence here. You stay. Yes, you stay. The window downstairs flings open. Ziki shows his head and angrily shouts at Atu. Atu, Atu, come here at once. I told you to leave my things alone. What have I done now? You'll find out if you drag your hide here. He disappears. Oh my, what have I done now? He throws his hands in the air and walks into the house. To Joshua, you see what I mean? They spit fire at the slightest provocation. Benko here is the worst of them all. Ziki is alright until you tamper with his guitar. There is a spare couch in his room, so if you bring your things, I'll show you. He goes into the house. Joshua picks his bag to follow, but Benko intercepts him and practically sprays the words into his face. If you know what is good for you, you'll get the hell out of here. I know your kind from the city. You come here and want to push your way around and want to lord over everybody. We are not mere fools, and we're not going to let people like Sumako think for us. I hate your guts. But you hardly know me. I might like to kill you if I knew more about you. That is very funny, you know, because your father said the same thing. Now, this is all blaspheming. My mother will be very cross to hear you say things like that to me. But not to worry. I shall talk to your father about it. He walks off into the house. Benko stares after him. Then gradually, the anger on his face turns into ironic amusement, culminating in an uproarious blast of laughter. Ziki appears, dressed up and holding his guitar. He's definitely surprised at the laughing Benko, and waits till the latter's mirth has subsided. Whatever the joke is, it must be very funny to drive you into such fits. I never thought Sumako was such a clown. See who he has got to bring harmony into this house, an imitation of a man who has gone round the bend. What's so amusing about that? Maybe that isn't funny, but you should have heard father going on, imitating Sumako. I give the orders. The round here. Ha! He's going to sit right there on the stool and smoke his pipe all day and give orders. Yes, he's going to back out his commands from that chair, and we're going to hear it far in the ocean and do as he says. Now, doesn't that make him the biggest clown? Dweller enters from the house. Are you boys not hungry? To the smiling Benko, I say, it makes a change to see a grin on your face. Ziki, what's up? Ask him. I'm wearing no grin on my face. Oh, never mind. It doesn't matter if you won't tell me. Where are you going all dressed up? I'm going to the lakeside. Oh, I thought the carnival wasn't till tomorrow. No, but there is a small village beyond the lake. Need I tell you more? Need I tell you who lives there? Why don't you eat first? I had some spices from the fields and wild mushrooms. They are nice. My woman is more than wild mushrooms and spices from the field. But thanks the same, I'm not hungry. My woman is food enough for me. I don't know what that woman sees in you. I've asked myself that question before. I even set it to music, but my guitar knows no answer. So with my day's work done, I grab my guitar, sing my song, and go to the lakeside. He strums at his guitar. Then with bold ballet strides, he sails away, downright. Reflectively, there is a lonely animal grazing in the field without her mate. Who will hear her cries? Ziki, oh Ziki, how nice to be happy like you. Pause, then to Benko. Well? Well what? Dinner is ready. I heard that a long time ago. They're waiting. I'm not hungry. What's wrong with everybody today? Violently. I said I'm not hungry. Don't you understand that? So why should you bother about me? Why should anyone care about me? So that's what you are upset about. You don't like him. Why don't you give yourself time before rejecting him? He just arrived. He comes from the city. He's from the hills. That's good enough for me. You know what he did to me when I was small. But that was just an accident. One of the rigors of life, which no man is a master of. How very conveniently put. Why? You even sound like him. Very soon, you're going to think like him. And you're going to say it's just an accident. Look at Ziki. He goes to see his woman every day at sundown, while I sit down and listen to the sea roar and the sun go to sleep. Who is responsible for all that? You. That is a lie and you know it. Even Joshua, the stranger, knows it is a lie. He comes from the madhouse. He's blind. He thinks I'm pretty. No one has ever told me that before. They all avoided me like I've got a hunch on my back. No one sees I'm pretty. Joshua does. He told me so. And brother, that's a lot to live for. Who knows? I might even have him. Appalled. You would destroy him. As if you care. Let me tell you, he's indestructible. I shall have him and prove you all wrong. I want to be a woman. I shall be a woman. Joshua enters. You look much of a woman to me. In this village, in this family, we need proof. We don't jump into hasty conclusions. Sometimes you do. Only where strangers are concerned. Benko will tell you that if you ask him nicely. I think I will. I'm sure we can be friends. Don't count on it. That will take some doing. Have you had your meal? Yes, thank you. I like the mushrooms. They are wild mushrooms. We don't get them very often. Sometimes they serve for fish. The food was good. I must congratulate you on that. You cook like my mother. Your mother must be an interesting woman. You must tell me about her sometime. I'm not allowed to. Sumako forbids it. Now, I think I will take a walk on the beach. I'll favor a dip in the ocean, but I can't swim. If you wait for me, I shall clear the things and come with you. What do you say to that, I would say wonderful. Good, then wait for me. It won't be a second. She runs into the house. Slut. Such vulgarity is unbecoming. You don't say such things to a woman. They are not complimentary. If you want what's good for you, you must look in the pigsty. That's where you belong. Pigsty. My mother will be very cross to hear you say things like that. I know a man who was overheard corrupting public decency with such profanity. He was served to sent in Madame Umbele's palace. Of course, he was castrated first. All the servants had to be. You and your kinds are pigs. You are all stark raving mad. They all say that. If only you knew what mission I have to accomplish. Puzzled. A mission? What mission? The impossible. Mother said to find the third end. The two men stare at each other in silence, Benko with bewilderment, and Joshua with ironic amusement. Dweller returns from the house, and a shawl on his shoulders. Shall we go then? As they go up, see you later, Brother Benko. Absolutely enraged. Slut. Blackout. Curtain. Thanks for watching this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.